So on now for the Packers at their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. From the left hash, this from 37. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go!
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. Preston Smith there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Trubisky. It's caught on the right side by Robinson. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
Who's off Porter? Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Here we go, D. Here I come again.
They go play action. Trubisky. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Let's go. Do it.
At their own 35-yard line.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. The left side throw complete to Adams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go through a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Rodgers going to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right? Yeah. Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Open here is Allison. That's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. Rodgers to throw for it on 4th. Forced out to his left. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Bears will get the football back. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
On first down, Trubisky. Packer pressure, and down he goes. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Solomon Thomas there on the tackle.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Now a pass hauled in downfield. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
Sliding out of the pocket, and he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10.
Lock in, lock in. Sponge, sponge, sponge. No.
Now Trubisky into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Nick Perry with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Touchdown, Packers! Davante Adams, 92 yards, and the Packers add on to their lead. Aaron Rodgers, Davante Adams, just a deadly combination, and we see why right there.
And we've seen it develop over the years because when Davante Adams first joined the Packers, he had to earn the trust of the quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. He has it in a big way now. He'll throw it to him long, he'll throw it to him short, but he always expects a big play to result.
Adams, former second-round pick out of Fresno State, plays like a first-round pick in the NFL. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, okay.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's Trubisky to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Miller. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches.
Alert. Here we go. 50. Man, don't. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Now it's Trubisky. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Solomon Thomas, they'd love to see that from him as he slips in for the sack. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now it's Trubisky. Steps away to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 16 yards, a 1st down.
The sack on 1st down took him out of a traditional running play and put him in a passing situation, but didn't stop him from running anyway, did it?
No, I was surprised when he took off. I thought, he's got some space. He might pick up 5, 6, 7 yards. He goes all the way and picks up the 1st. Dancing to his left. The 20. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Packers pick it up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now the Packers get set to go. And last time the formula was pretty simple. 1 play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how.
And he coughs up the football near his own goal line.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Buster Screen is able to bring him down.
All right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up. Back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle?
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick.
The Bears take
Let's go!
over first
Let's go!
and 10
Let's go!
at their own 33-yard line.
The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Trubisky to throw, escaping the pressure right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Bears on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11.
Check Mike 50. Mike is a 50. Check it out.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Open man, there is Patterson, complete. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Here's Trubisky. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Trubisky. Now the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long.
Hey, alert, 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 alert. Kill, kill, kill. Recon, 132 fighter. Kill, turn up. Check 52. Bang, 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 bang. Lock in, lock in.
On 3rd down, a run with Cohen. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. Flush to his right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. So we have hit halftime of the 2019 opener from Chicago. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, we'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
You better be afraid of me.
They'll start the 3rd quarter with a run by Cohen. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
This is Cohen. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Draw play here. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Find Finding Gabriel complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. First down, a run with Cohen. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38.
We know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. From the 38, Trubisky. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson, 38 yards. And the Bears cut into that lead. And, oh, it's no good on the PAT, so they can't add on here. And our score is going to stay right where it is. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got a 1st down past the 30. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to zone blitz.
Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and the receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open?
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 36-yard line.
They try again with Cohen. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. Well, I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Being chased out left. This is Gabriel out on the left side. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup, 17 yards and a bare 1st down. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. He'll take a shot for the end zone. Got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Tariq Cohen, 44 yards. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. Now Trubisky will lead the Bears up to go for 2.
Check. Check out. Coaching spill.
They'll try and run it here. And he will find the end zone again. So he gets the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. And that'll cut this deficit down a little bit further. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 22-yard line.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
18 on the play.
And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 47-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Rodgers. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And some space here. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
And the Packer first down.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 24.
Get 300. Get 300.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Caught on the right side by Adams. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. On 2nd and goal, standing alone in the backfield is Williams. He'll get it up the middle. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This is a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And Crosby puts it through. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They begin the drive with Hill. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Alert, 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 alert. Check 30. Alert, 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 alert.
They'll run on 2nd down with Cohen. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Alert, alert, alert. Joker. 18. You got tight. You got tight right there.
On 1st down, they go right back to Cohen. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Tackle made there by Nick Perry.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Blue. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D.
From the 45 on second down, Trubisky forced out to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Preston Smith, his second sack of the night. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long.
Mike's 50.
Now Trubisky on 3rd and long. And the pressure gets to him again. Dean Lowry providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here's Williams to return. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. Boy, tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. Flushed out right. And he slides to avoid the hit. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On second down, it's Williams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Taking it in from the 20, and the Packers add 6 to their lead. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that, because the scouting report told you that this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 22. Trubisky will throw. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long.
18.
Throwing here, Trubisky. Buying time to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Solomon Thomas able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Trubisky. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Hey, exit.
Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. On the defensive side of the ball, that's the definition of frustrated. You get them to 4th down, and then you allow a chunk play like that in the passing game.
Almost felt as if that play was drawn up in the dirt on the sideline. They pulled that from a game plan that wasn't this game, and they still made it work.
The throw right sideline here is complete, and he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
And an alley to run. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a first down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Alert, 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 alert.
56.
Now Trubisky to throw on second. And Davis with it left side. He takes it to the 15. A nice display of power. And it gives him a nice pickup. Call it a pickup of 7. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
56, Mike, 56. Silver. Alert, 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 alert. He's checking.
Davis, he'll try to run for it. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. A 15-yard touchdown run. And the Bears draw a bit closer. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
This is fielded at the goal line. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And that winds up a decent run, and it also takes us to the 2-minute warning. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. On 2nd down, Williams. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down. After that run, still a good amount of meat on the bone here for this 3rd down play. Can you envision them putting this in the air?
Totally. I mean, look at who he has under center right now. If you can't trust him with the football, you can't trust anyone. And frankly, to me, I want the ball down the stretch. Get the 1st down, keep it in the hands of my offense. I don't want to turn it over to them and rely on my D.
2 former All-Pros connecting. Rodgers fighting his tight end Graham. Packer 1st down.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the 1st down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are on the field?
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd down now, it's Williams. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice it starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year. And, you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for the Packers, they start the season with a great win on the road here in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, what? Whole squad like, yeah, in the feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah, whole squad like, yeah, in the feel like, yeah, all day like, yeah, all night like, yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, no, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. Call us dangerous, ain't too many can play with us. See what this game here taking us, no barber, ain't no fading us. I ain't really saying much, actions be louder than words, man. I just wanna be heard for your mom to your pop to the bees to the birds, man. Cut right off on the curb, like I'm Barry Sanders. Chains on and the diamonds dancing. Game on, so it's time to go. When the rain starts, I'ma let you know. Name a squad that is better though than my home team. We a pot of gold. I'm a dog. I'ma need a bone for my whole team. I'ma let it go like blah. Yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, no, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want. I piss on my frustration, I was waiting to shine. My father taught me don't be soft, so now I'm taking what's mine. I define myself as ambitious, young, black, and gifted. Master P, my masterpiece, that mean I don't got no limits. Bout it, I doubt it. My homies know you ain't ratted. We break you down like a pound. I got it, dog pounders surround me. I'm corrupted, flow cold and it's rugged, bumpy. What is up? I'm ready for war. You got to love it like black, yeah. And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like what? And it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like what? Whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah, whole squad like yeah, and it feel like yeah, all day like yeah, all night like yeah. You don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, yeah, you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want problems, no, I say you don't want problems, you don't want smoke, dog. You don't want.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, dog. This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know where Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Ready. Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see third-year man Mitchell Trubisky and the Chicago Bears as they match up with the longtime Raven Joe Flacco and his new team, the Denver Broncos.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL has us at the foot of the Rockies, just west of downtown Denver at Broncos Stadium at Mile High. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Chicago Bears and the Denver Broncos. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Broncos head out for their first drive, and at the controls in his first season in the Mile High City, a former Super Bowl champion in Joe Flacco. And in Baltimore, they drafted Lamar Jackson. Eventually, he would take over for Flacco week 10 a season ago. So Flacco out. Well, the Broncos said, we still think he has some time left in his career. They bring him in for some stability at quarterback, something that they really haven't had in Denver since the departure of Peyton Manning after their victory in Super Bowl 50. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
The numbers for Sanders last week, 6 catches, 76 yards.
And what we just saw there was exactly what they need against this defense. Big plays. They were able to pick up a first down on that one.
They go play action here on first down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Flacco from the gun. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
His passing's been on point on this drive, hasn't it? Been very accurate, gotten the ball downfield, gained nice chunks of yardage. But now, in this situation, the field is really...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Royce Freeman, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. Quarterback Mitchell Trubisky leading out the Chicago Bears. Former number 2 overall pick out of Carolina. Big improvements in year 2 for Trubisky. Touchdown spiked from 7 to 24. Yards per game went up by almost 50. And, of course, most importantly, the Bears went from 5 wins to 12 and an NFC North title. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. The rushing numbers last week for Cohen. 17 carries, 92 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
31 yards there and a first down.
That looked like a 2-deep coverage, which we call cover 2. And what that really means is you have corners, what we call rolled up in about a 5-yard area on the outside receivers. Then your safeties are back closer to the hash marks near the middle of the field, somewhere around 10 to 12 yards back. So if you can break through the first level, you've got a chance to run before you encounter any type of resistance from the safeties.
We saw the example of it right there.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards there, first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 11 yards there, first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They run. This is Cohen. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59.
The drive will commence with a run by Lindsey. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
From the 27, Flacco. And on the catch right side, this is Sanders. 20, 10, and all the way home for the Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos able to show off their quick strike ability. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far is working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
But he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. Because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 31, Trubisky. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
Well, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. And that one is incomplete. And it also concludes quarter number 1. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
Set to start another drive, Joe Flacco and the Broncos. He's played a pretty clean 1st half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes, but right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
From the 39, Flacco finds Jake Butt over the middle. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down. They needed inches, but they got yards and plenty of them.
And that often happens when everyone's stacked near the line of scrimmage when, as you said, all you need are inches. So you bring people closer to it. If you pop it free as he did there, it's a lot of grass available for him to run on.
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 12 yards there and a 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run here with Freeman. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the 1st half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. 2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll run. Here's Janovich, the fullback. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Bronco touchdown. Andy Janovich, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Well, it was second and goal. You're in there close. That's the fullback's comfort zone.
Not only is it his comfort zone, it's an expectation. That's what he's supposed to do. Turn and hand it to him. Big guys fire out. Find your way into the end zone.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy.
There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Chicago. Tariq Cohen with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Bears are able to show off their quick strike ability. And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again,
and again.
And again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out there to start their next drive, Phillip Lindsay and the Broncos. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on. And then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And out across midfield, down to the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass. That's why the guy with the headsets is down there. All right, they know what they're doing because they got stuffed on a running play on first down. And I think myself and probably the fans were saying throw the football in this situation. But he knew what he was doing, called another run, and now they've got 3rd and short. Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Well, they're lucky. If that was roughing, it would have been a first down. Instead, still 4th.
But now it brings up a decision, doesn't it? Now you're in a position where maybe it changes what you do.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end. And this score will stay right where it is. A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down.
They really love to get him into one-on-one opportunities, and this is one way. Work him out of the slot and create a mismatch. Who's going to cover him? Corner, safety, linebacker? He's got a way to beat all of those positions.
A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. Trubisky finding the former Eagle Burton for the Chicago first.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. Third and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. And it's second down. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Call it a gain of 3, and it'll be fourth down. The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Fourth down. Here's Trubisky. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. The Bears tried it on fourth down, unable to convert. And the Broncos will take over on downs. They'll start on the ground with Lindsey. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Barring a flag, final play here for Flacco and company. So we come upon halftime. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Cohen. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Todd Davis, the Broncos' leading tackler last year, up to make the stop.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ballgame. Another down on the scoreboard, but the urge to go for it is almost irresistible here on 4th and short. Yeah, I know they're on their own side of the field.
I was going to say.
Normally I would say punt the ball away, but I'm feeling it. I say go for it.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. And able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. They keep it with Davis on 1st down. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one snipped out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
22 yards there, a 1st down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Trubisky. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 15 yards on the play. 1st down.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry? Ball gets tipped in the air. Because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense. Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. Mike Davis, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. Now, let's not forget that was all set up by the 4th down conversion earlier in the drive.
Would have been a complete letdown if the drive doesn't culminate this way, wouldn't it? If you're going to go for it on 4th down, your intention is to make sure you get a touchdown out of the drive, and that's exactly what they did. Converted, and then converted a 2nd time for 6 points.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. Left side here to Sanders. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. And certainly a valuable tool to have in your kit, Emmanuel Sanders, and he's shown us quite a bit in this one.
And that's why they wanted to use him immediately. You know they come out of the locker room saying, let's get the ball to him, get our offense jump-started, and in this case, it's worked throughout the game. Thus, they have...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Noah Fant, his first NFL reception, goes for 6. And the Broncos will extend their lead. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the 3rd quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Now a hit and a loose football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So they get the 1-score kickoff, get a fumble, take it right back to the house. 2 quick touchdowns within a matter of about 10 seconds on the game clock.
It's like a big 1-2 punch.
We're going to shut y'all down.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 24. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And an alley to run. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now, they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. Coverage was great everywhere that time. He tried to get it to his outlet, tried to get it to his running back, but sailed it a little bit too high and actually left his body open for a big hit.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Trubisky. That's complete to the Memphis man, Anthony Miller. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. Now Trubisky eluding the pressure right. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On 1st down, Trubisky. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Cordero Patterson, the one he was hoping to get it to. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now Trubisky to throw. Out left to Shaheen. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down. Charles, you are the master of abstract facts. So who would you say is the best player ever drafted from Ashland University in Ohio?
How about the only one ever drafted from there? Adam Shaheen, the tight end. Went to the Chicago Bears. Began his college career, though, as a basketball player, Division II in the state of Pennsylvania.
The quick slant caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Adam Shaheen, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears draw a bit closer.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because in a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Flacco. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Operating off play action. Flacco. Under pressure, and Flacco's going to be dropped. Aaron Lynch, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
Seems to me that our friend, Old Momentum, I think he's definitely changed teams in this game.
It's only going to grow after that sack, and now, heck, they can get the ball back here and possibly even get the lead. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
No, 61, matchbox, right. Check three. Kill.
They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the 29, Trubisky. It's complete to Robinson. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Alert.
They'll try to run for it with Cohen. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one go in the wrong direction. They're going on 4th down. It's Trubisky. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that is incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out. Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, yeah, it looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Joe Flacco, and the Broncos will add on to their lead.
All the receivers in the league are plenty good enough, otherwise they wouldn't make it in the NFL. But the ones that go to the Pro Bowl, they have refined route running ability.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that makes this a 9-point game. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. That's fielded in the end zone. Boy, shifts past him. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
That's caught inside the 20. A great pickup there, 35 yards, and obviously the first down to go along with it. Hey, you're at the point in the game right now where you got to start taking some chances. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. It's a foot race. He's at the 50. He's at 20. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Flacco